So, today we're going to talk about a weapon that has totally flipped the script on modern warfare. And no, it's not some billion-dollar stealth fighter or a crazy hypersonic missile. It's a surprisingly simple, low-cost drone that has basically forced the world's biggest military powers to go back to the drawing board. Let's dive in.
This is how it starts. For people on the ground, whether they're in a city or on a battlefield, this is the first warning sign. It's this weirdly familiar buzzing sound, like a lawnmower or a scooter in the distance. And it's the signature sound of the Shahed 136, announcing its arrival just moments before it hits.
And this is where they come from. You might be picturing some high-tech silo or a massive fortified airbase, but nope, it's a simple truck. This whole launcher system can be hidden in plain sight, moved around super quickly, and fire a whole volley of these drones one after another. That makes the launch sites just incredibly hard to find and take out. So that's really the big question we're exploring today, right? How did this, on the surface, pretty basic weapon, built by a country under all sorts of sanctions, somehow become one of the most game-changing pieces of military tech in the world right now? Okay, so first, to really get a handle on its impact, we've got to look at where the Shahed 136 and its cousins first made a name for themselves. Its journey across the world's hotspots really tells the story of this brand new kind of threat. We first saw its potential in Yemen, where it proved that a cheap drone could hit incredibly high-value targets like oil refineries. But it was in Ukraine, where Russia started using them on a huge scale against power plants and cities, that the whole world really sat up and paid attention. And then, in 2024, we saw this massive, coordinated attack launched from Iran itself, showing it could be used as a true state-level strategic weapon.
All right, so how is this thing actually built? Let's pop the hood. What makes this drone so darn effective isn't some secret, advanced technology. It's a design philosophy that's all about one thing, keeping it cheap and simple.
The Shahed 136 is what's called a loitering munition. Now, unlike a Predator drone that fires a missile and flies home, with a loitering munition, the drone is the missile. It's a one-way trip. It launches, flies to a set of GPS coordinates you punch in beforehand, and then just dives right into the target, detonating its warhead. Simple as that. Now, check this out. When Ukrainian and Western intelligence got their hands on some of these drones intact, they took them apart, and what they found inside was fascinating. They weren't finding top-tier military hardware. They found a simple little piston engine, basic flight controls, and a bunch of off-the-shelf electronics. This thing is literally built to be thrown away.
And this is where the story gets a really wild twist. Because for all intents and purposes, this is an Iranian weapon, but it's powered by Western tech. Investigations found that the huge majority of its electronic guts, from the GPS modules to the microchips, come from companies based in the US and its allied countries. They're just commercial parts, slipping right through global sanctions.
But the drone's real power, the secret sauce that makes it so revolutionary, isn't actually in the components. It's in the price tag. This is where the Shahed completely rewrites the rules and turns warfare into a brutal, brutal math problem. Get this. The estimated cost to build one single Shahed 136 drone is as low as $20,000. I mean, that's less than a new car. For a weapon that can fly hundreds, even 1,000 kilometers and deliver a pretty hefty warhead with decent accuracy, that number is just staggering.
Okay, so 20 grand to attack. Now, look at what it costs to stop it. A single anti-aircraft missile used to shoot one of these down can cost anywhere from $100,000 to well over $1 million. You could easily be spending 50 times more to defend against a threat than the attacker spent to launch it.
And that right there, that is the entire strategy. The Shahed is designed to wage economic war. Even if the defenders are amazing and shoot down, say, 90% of the drones, they risk burning through their own incredibly expensive missile stockpiles. The attacker is always, always winning the cost exchange.
And this crazy economic advantage is what makes the primary tactic possible, the swarm. By launching dozens of these things at once, all coming in from different directions, an attacker can completely overwhelm even the best air defense systems out there. A radar can only track so many things at once, and a missile launcher can only fire fast enough. The swarm makes it a numbers game, and it guarantees that some are going to get through. So, this new reality, this new math, forced a really urgent response. When you're faced with a weapon that weaponizes its own cheapness, the United States realized it couldn't just defend against the Shahed, it pretty much had to copy it. I mean, just look at this timeline. The pace here is just incredible for military development.
Within just a few months of getting their hands on intact drones, the Pentagon kicked off this super fast program to basically take it apart and build their own. In just a year and a half, they had a working American-made version ready to go.
And this is the result, the Lucas drone. You can see it sticks to the Shahed's main idea. It's cheap and it's built for mass production, but it comes with some key American upgrades. It's got much better jam-resistant navigation and a modular nose cone, which is pretty cool. That means it can carry a warhead to attack, or you can swap that out for advanced sensors and use it for surveillance. And the whole point of this program is captured perfectly in this quote from a defense official. The goal isn't just to have a weapon that can do the same thing. The goal is to turn Iran's own strategy right back on them, to force them and their allies to suddenly face the exact same low-cost, swarm-based threat that they pioneered.
So, when you put all of this together, the rise of the Shahed and the super fast response to it, it really signals a deep, fundamental change in how wars are fought. We're stepping into a completely new era of conflict.
You know, for decades, the ability to hit a specific target with precision from hundreds or thousands of kilometers away was a monopoly. It was something only a few global superpowers could do. The Shahed 136 completely shattered that monopoly. That kind of long-range precision is now becoming cheap, it's becoming accessible, and it's spreading.
Which leaves us with this final thought. For most of modern history, military power was all about having the most technologically advanced and usually the most expensive stuff. The Shahed has turned that whole idea on its head. It has created a new kind of arms race, not for the best technology, but for the most cost-effective. And that's a question that is going to define the battlefields of tomorrow.